This hand is not very good. We only have a bear. Maze Abomination makes this pretty much a 6-card hand anyway, and it's not a very good one at that. But, I mean, if he starts with like the Madcap Skills hand again, then we're in good shape. So I'm actually hoping he has a kind of a fast start this game. He's playing Basic Island, so he must be a little more heavier into black than I thought. Smite, okay. I guess that's something. Now I'm really hoping his hand is aggressive. What do we got? Dagger Drone Imp, okay. I'm gonna play my bear here. Okay, so we can actually kind of curve out, even though we don't have any black mana, but we do want to draw some swamps here, and hopefully we don't draw a Perilous Shadow. So if he puts like a Madcap Skills on it or something, there's some consideration to blowing the Apparition now, or I can just wait a turn, let him gain 4 life, and then Sundering Growth. Okay, it turns out he doesn't have anything of the sort. Hopefully this isn't a Warmind Infantry. Oh, well, fine. At least we have the Snare Squad. Alright, Swamp. Interesting. I'm actually going to play that instead, so I can stop his Dagger Drone Imp. No, I really want to Swamp next turn, so I can play Snare Squad with Smite up. Runner's Bane. Well, I can't stop it from tapping my Sunspire Griffin either way, because it enters the battlefield before I can destroy it. The question is, do I want to do this end of turn? Yeah, I think I do, because this way I can block and then sack, save myself some damage, and get the Runner's Bane gone. I think that's fine. Keening Apparition is one of the most underrated cards in my opinion. It's quite good. Bear with upside, never a problem with that. There's that Madcap Skills. Alright, so Sundering Growth's gonna pull its weight here. Do I want to play my Snare Squad now is the question. I don't think I do. Yeah, I'm curious why he didn't put the Madcap Skills on pre-combat to gain some life. I think I'm just going to do this now. Not sure what I'm playing around, but... And then I'm going to smite something, most likely. I'm fine with waiting a turn on an attack, because I do have follow-ups after. And I want to kind of slow the pace of this game down, since I have more cards in hand that I want to cast. He only has 3 cards left. And we're still digging for swamps. But as soon as we hit like 1 swamp, this hand's actually fine. See what he's got. Oh, Pursuit of Flight, perfect. Now I can smite it. So it's, at this point, it's going to be my 4 cards in hand versus his 2, and my Sunspire Griffin versus his Dagger Drone Imp. So we're definitely ahead on both cards and on the board. So I think we're in very good shape here. Unless he plays a Master of Cruelties. But even then, we have a Fatal Fumes to deal with it eventually. And it's nice because First Strike Death Touch is actually pretty unbeatable, usually. But Fatal Fumes does stop that because it only has 1 power. And we can block it with like Sunspire Griffin and be fine. But in any case, we're just going to hope he doesn't have it at all. And we also have Smite. Oh no, we just used our Smite. Okay, so his His Daggerdrawn Imp is basically a Goblin Fireslinger with lifelink at this point. I don't really care about blocking it or not. He used both of the enchantments that I saw in games 1 and 2, so I don't think I have to worry about any more pumps. There's the Master, okay. So I think I Soul Tithe that. He's going to get in for 1. Don't really care. Swamp. No. Alright, another black spell. Not what I wanted. So my only option here really is to Soul Tithe that guy. If he attacks with it, well, this assumes he keeps it around, but I'm pretty sure he's going to do it. I think I'm just going to chump with my Snare Squad. I don't have to worry about removal because he's going to have to tap out to save his Master anyway. So it'd have to be like he has to draw a mountain and play Mugging or something, which is highly unlikely. Alright, he uses up his turn. Soul Tithe is pretty good against bombs. Is he just going to attack with this guy? Yeah, it doesn't seem right. Just use the free removal spell, basically. Clearly blocking. Oh, thank God. Swamp. Yeah, if we'd bricked again, we would have been in really bad shape. But no, I get to Fatal Fumes this guy. He has to tap out again, so I don't have to worry about Blood Rush to blow me out again. And next turn we get to Tithe Drinker, or Maze Abomination. He did get to draw a couple cards while I was digging for that swamp, but Soul Tithe pretty much did exactly what I wanted it to do. It bought me time while I dug for answers, and I found one, so good job, Soul Tithe. Sideboard doing its job. Alright, and he's tapped out, so this is going to succeed. Fatal Fumes that. First strike resolves without it doing any damage, thanks to the -4 on its power. Then I kill it back. Now we're back in the same spot, although this time he is up a card on me, which is unfortunate, but I think we can get there now that we've drawn our swamp. We've got higher quality threats. Oh, and there's our second swamp. So, yeah, we'll just get in for 2. I think at this point I just play my Abomination, just to try to overwhelm him before he can get a board state going. His Daggerdrawn Imp has kept him nice and healthy though, which is annoying. Although we did get to keep his Madcap skills off it, which would have put the game out of reach otherwise pretty handily. So both of our sideboard cards pulled its weight, and then some, so I'm pretty happy with that. Although an Undercity Plague would be pretty sweet right now, I must say. Start chipping away at his lands, and his life total, and his hand. Which are all things that are worth getting rid of in this matchup. Law Recruit, alright, it doesn't do a whole lot at this stage in the game. Just another pinger, which is going to be a little too slow against my board. He's already blown through a Runner's Bane, so I don't think he has another one for my Sunspire Griffin. Revelbelt Maca. Oh, okay. Gain some life, I guess, but I don't think that was a good move on his part. Oh, sweet. That was a perfect draw. Now I get to Tithe Drinker and then extort something in the same turn. So we've got him on a pretty good clock right now. He's gaining like 1 life a turn, but as long as we're ahead on board, just like 1 life a turn isn't going to be enough usually. He's just going to chump. Interesting. Wow, he really just wants to survive. I don't know if I agree with that or not. Because we're going to start gaining life of our own, and he's not going to be able to race. Extort is a lot different than 1 life a turn. However, ooh, and it has Death Touch. I forgot about that. It's actually quite relevant right now. So if he plays a big bomb, Like, the only bomb that this wouldn't be able to get through really is like Carnival Hellsteed or Master of Cruelties, one of which we already dealt with. Man, look at all these cards we dealt with. I'm quite proud of myself. Usually these are all cards that would give our deck some nightmares, but oops, sorry about that. Anyway, yeah. Oh, okay, that does make things a little different, although we do still have Death Touch going, so 5 toughness isn't going to be too difficult. It just means our Sunspire Griffin can't really get in anymore. Alright, getting in for 1. That's fine. Man, he's still at 20. Feels like this game's been going on for a while now. He only has 1 card, and he's going to need more than 1 card to pull back ahead, especially after that draw. We just need to draw spells from here on out, basically. So if I Alpha Strike here, well, I'll do this first so I can guarantee an Extort if he kills my Tithe Drinker. Does mean he doesn't have to play around anything, but I think I just Alpha Strike. Don't need to worry about leaving blockers back. My life total's fine, and I'm gaining life. He either has to lose his Flux Charger or take 8, so we're in pretty good shape here. Alright, he's just going to take 8. We gain some back. So if he has some kind of instant or sorcery to pump his Dagger Drone Imp, he can get in for like 9 damage or something. I don't know what instants and sorceries would do that, but that's like best case scenario for him. But anyway, he's not in a very good position here. Alright, he's going to play another flyer. So he could technically kill my Sunspire Griffin if he blocks with everything, and I'd just be training it for like a Screecher, basically. Which is probably fine, because he's still taking a bunch of damage. Let's see what we got, what we've used already. Versus what he's got. Yeah, this is pretty good looking graveyards right now. I'm basically just looking in the mirror and complimenting my own good looks at this point. Let him think. Oh, there he goes. He's going to go to combat. Presumably just attacking with his Dagger Drone Imp. Alright, he's going to leave it back. Okay, land is not what we needed. And Live Decree would be a pretty good draw right now, wouldn't it? So what happens if I Alpha Strike? Let's find out. We're far enough ahead that I can lose a creature or 2 and still be fine. Gaining some life back, and he's not in any good position to deal us some damage. He could have like an Augur Spree or something, but that only deals with one thing, and we have multiple threats he has to deal with. Although, Augur Spree does switch his Flux Charger around, so he could trade if he wants to with the Sunspire Griffin. Nope, just going to do that. Alright, so we lost his Basilica Screecher. Don't need to play our land. What do I have that could like end the game right now? Pretty much just Live Decree. I mean, maybe this is a bad example because we are ahead on board, but this is one of those board states where Live Decree just really shows you why it's so good. Same with like Azorius Justice here. Ooh, Skywatch does save him a little bit of time. What do we got? But yeah, just those board stall breakers are really crucial in these battle of big creatures. It's interesting why he detained my Tithe Drinker. The only reason I can think is he wants to stop the lifelink, but that's not really relevant anymore. Oh, there it is. Can we win this turn? all his guys are flying, so we can't really get in and for guaranteed damage in the air. I think I just want to detain his 2 biggest guys so that he has to chump my Maze Abomination with the Dagger Drone Imp, which takes the lifelink out of the equation. Then he would go to 4, I think. Oh no, 2 because of Extort. Forgot about that. And then he has to find an answer to my Shuer Shambler, or he's dead. So yeah, perfect draw. He would have been dead if we still had Tithe Drinker around, but what are you gonna do? That's why he should have detained my 4/5 instead. Actually, it doesn't really matter. He's going to 2 no matter what. Yep, it's the only option he has. He only has 1 card, and it has to deal with 2 of my threats. And that's not even taking Extort into consideration, so I think we got there. Death Cult Rogue doesn't do it. And this game should be a lesson to you if you had any doubts about Liev Decree. This tells you why you're wrong. Alright, well, I'll just get in with my Swamp Walk guy. Pretty sure he doesn't have anything, but it doesn't look like it. Awesome, we got there. Alright, we're on to the finals. See what we would have drawn. Some spells. Alright, nice. We'll be right back.